and he's ready to go. Noodle on his left, Jess on his right. Hey, hold up, don't start a fight. He's got you covered with all the sports. Don't fret, he's wearing shorts. It's time for Waking Jake in the morning, Waking Jake at night. Jake sucks.
Good morning, Bakers. What is going on, everyone? Happy 4th of July. No, it's the 13th of July. Hope you guys are doing well. As we continue into the teeth of summer, that's a phrase I keep saying for no reason. Never said that before in my life. But we are, and we're approaching the All-Star break. I threw on my last year's JM jerseys. One of arguably the nicest thing we've ever put out as a product.
Yeah.
Like the tie-dye hoodies up there, but I think that gets beat. Some of the Blitzball jerseys individually.
Personal preference.
Are also up there, but these were kind of the first, like, whoa.
We balled out for this one.
Jomboy Media rolled them out, and little teaser for you guys. We got new ones coming up for LA this year as we're going to the All-Star game. Well, we're not going to the All-Star game. We're going to the Home Run Derby. And then we're hosting an event during the All-Star game. We're almost sold out of tickets. If you're going to be there, let us know. I know some of you are. I know a couple hardcore bakers. I think, is anyone in the chat right now going? I know Josh Osborne hit me up.
I saw Nate Steele say he's going.
Nasty Nate's going. All right, so I'm
that feels impactful.
The All-Star game for us. I'll peel back the curtain for you guys a little bit. We're going to talk a lot of baseball today. It's that time of year. Hockey free agency is about to get going, but
Woo.
I've never known about that. You know, a little behind the scenes of Jomboy Media. Some of you might know, some of you might not know. We've hired a CEO, nice guy named Andrew. Good dude. He's going to be out there. Say hi to him. And
You'll get to meet him.
You'll meet her. You'll meet her. We had a nice conversation about, what is the All-Star break? Is it like a money-making thing for us? Is it a what does the All-Star break mean to us as a company? I think first thing on our side, I think it is it's a fun team building presence in baseball opportunity for Jomboy Media. We're going to go there. We're going to have a ton of fun. In Denver, we did a ton of content. In LA, we couldn't fully do that. LA's tough to get around. Time zones, things are just happening earlier in LA. So, we're having some fun. The All-Star, the Home Run Derby will be there. Hopefully you'll see us in the crowd. We'll be in Homer Alley. That's a phrase. Matching shirts. You know, we had these on at Coors last year. Every time a homer went to left center, people saw us. They were excited. That was cool. And everyone at the All-Star game, we kind of didn't realize we had grown so much from 2019 to 2021 All-Star game because of, between COVID and going from mostly Yankees to all of baseball and Yankees, that it was really cool, especially when you have our extended family, our cousins come through. Peter Moylan, Kelsey, Jerry, and we've even grown since then. So excited to see all the baseball fans get a lot of love on our own. The Home Run Derby is currently my top event in sports. If you get a chance to go, I tell you, you must go. I tell you we must die. A lot of comments on the goatee in the chat right now. Yeah, it's tough. And then the All-Star game, we're doing a VIP event beforehand, which is fun. We did that last year. It was kind of like 45 minutes of mingling. I think it was like 20 minutes of Chris Rose trivia, get settled in. And then it was, I think, just like 45 minutes open forum, some baseball stuff around the league, some hot topics. With our whole crew, Chris Rose, Trev, obviously. Trevor Plouffe, former Twins third baseman. You want to have yourself a good time? Go through Trevor Plouffe's Instagram. I did a deep scroll the other day.
You can go back pretty far.
I did a deep scroll the other day. It's pretty good. You forget he's a dude. Like him and young Byron Buxton just posting selfies. Him and Aaron Hicks. Like we always laugh because he's like, yeah, Hicks is a Cali boy. I know Hicksy. The Yankees like starting center fielder, although not sure anymore. Yeah, it's just them on the bus, like selfie mode. Cali guys
Hanging
on
out.
the Twins was the caption. And he used to be a lot thicker, so you know I like that. Excited for All-Star Weekend, and I guess where I was getting to, the All-Star game when we hosted at the Boomtown Brewery, which some of you are going to. It's just cool, man. I mean, we're just hanging out and having a good time. After the VIP event, the game's on. Last year, we played blitzball in an alley, kind of, with a bunch of people. I think we might set up a couple Beano boards, and more importantly, just pop by, have a convo. I know I recognize some people just from the social medias, others I didn't, and you have a good time on it.
Nice to put names to faces, faces to names, I guess is what you're putting.
People trying to pants BBD and Zach.
Well,
Pinata stuff.
have that opportunity, I guess.
And I think, did we get any more home run derby announcements?
I don't think so. So good for the Talking Baseball episode.
On the Yes broadcast, they said Stanton was in, but we don't know if that was an educated guess or what that was.
Stanton and Julio have both basically been like, yes, but they just nobody's announcing it.
I'll say this: we did a whole Talking Baseball episode on it, so go check that out. Talk about the home run derby. Jake's theory of COVID. Whoa, here we go.
Whoa.
Finally, we're talking about it. No, I think our society went through something that it's never gone through. Literally a pandemic. People are trapped inside. A lot of other stuff around it that I'm not going to go into, obviously. But I think one of the things we will find, stuff like this, I think people are going to care again and do more and be a part of. I think 2019 All-Star Game in LA, I don't know if Stanton wants to be a part of it. You do timing and injuries and everything like that.
He was over it.
He's an
for a
LA
while.
guy. You know, I think him and Judge did 2017.
Yeah.
And, you know, the home run derby kind of a la the dunk contest. They normally want younger guys or, you know, to put your flag in the ground, or if you had a huge first half, it's a good way to show off. This pool is already good, and I think it's going to get really good. I mean, Pete Alonso is establishing himself as all-time home run derby guy. He's got 2 in the bag. He's going for 3. No one's ever won 3 in a row.
And the first 2 wins looked easy for him.
Dominant. Ronald Acuna Jr. is one of the best young players in the game. And, like, on pace to be an all-time baseball player.
Did well the time he did it before.
Albert Pujols is an all-time baseball player. He's kind of the controversial pick. I see both arguments, you know. He might have a really bad performance. He's not the same baseball player these guys are. He also might be really good. And he might make a memory because he's got 685 in the bag after last night.
Got another 19 playoff homers.
Juan Soto on arguably the best trajectory of any young hitter ever. Kyle Schwarber in the annals of history. What? I don't know. But as a current just power hitter, like thick daddy home run hitter, yeah.
Seems built for the competition and is the current NL leader in home runs.
Is there any reason he shouldn't be a lefty Alonso? I don't know. We'll find out. And then, like you mentioned, the rumored guys so far, Julio Rodriguez. We'll see, but having a historic rookie season. Probably not that power guy in the long run, but I don't know. A future star of the game.
One of the most exciting young players going.
Giancarlo Stanton, this has been my driving point home with him, if he fully enters. He is the guy who's hit a baseball the hardest ever in the history of the sport. And he's going to be a Hall of Famer. Like I saw some people were replying that to some tweets yesterday. Like, is he on like one of the most ignored Hall of Fame campaigns we've seen?
I was kind of on a thing where with the injuries and then the COVID year, it's like, did that take him out? Because he's like, it's gonna be an uphill battle for 500, but he looks as good as ever. So,
and I mean, that's the other thing around it is, maybe he was more banged up and maybe his body needed a recovery year. I don't know. Like, that's another thing. Jakey's COVID theories. Someone like Garrett Cole, who signed that big contract that was supposed to be, the end of it. We're like, oh, it's going to look bad. Maybe it doesn't look bad because he rested his arm for like a year. I have no idea. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
Nobody knows. But the home run derby, it's lining up to be an all-time field. We're going to get one or two. Maybe there's an LA guy that, like Trev threw out Justin Turner, which, again, when you go back in those same annals, I don't think it would get looked at as a historic home run derby guy, but he'd be the local guy. He'd get the crowd. Yeah. If Shohei taps in,
he gets some of the localness.
Which he hasn't ruled it out yet, right?
He did it last year, so we know he's done it.
Trout talked to reporters and said, I'm not doing it.
He has more to lose than gain.
The fact Shohei hasn't ruled it out yet and it's in L.A.?
We've seen him participate.
I don't know. That being said, if the home run derby is in your town or you're going to an All-Star game, go to that over the All-Star game. I'm sure the All-Star game is great.
If you're picking one of the events to
Haven't been to one, so I can't fully comment on it. But the home run derby is one of the more electric events in sports. So go do that. Excited to see everyone there. And I think the baseball topics I want to discuss revolve around going into the All-Star break, the Yankees with their worst loss of the season last night. Chris Sale comes back, and the Boston people are excited. And the tale of the 2019 Rockies that I think every baseball fan needs to be reminded of. And all of that is brought to you by Athletic Greens, AG1. I always say this part. If you haven't heard about it from us, you've heard about these guys from something else you watch or are involved in. Athletic Greens is everywhere, man. They are blowing up, and it's because AG1, with one scoop a day, you're getting 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, and probiotic to help start your day right. Gut health, your nervous system, immune system, energy, recovery, focus, and aging, all of the tings. Less than 1 gram of sugar, no GMOs, no nasty chemicals. You're investing in your health, and it's cheaper than your cold brew habit. Comes out to about $3 a day. And to make it even easier, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/Jake. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/Jake. Take ownership of your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. People, if you want to grow out a goatee like this, get yourself some AG1. Maybe they don't want that, but go to athleticgreens.com/Jake. Free 1-year supply, vitamin D and travel packs. Thank you, Athletic Greens. All right. I know I start off with Yanks a lot. We have a lot of Yankee fans. I think if we were doing baseball in general, the Yankees loss would be the kickoff today. Because holy Toledo, the New York Yankees that have been off to a historic pace have slowed down recently in a couple games. I think they're 5-5 in their last 10 now. 2 of those games could have easily been won. Even going back further, I mean, they lost the 2-1 game in Houston. That was really good baseball. Each team had one swing. That was playoff baseball, basically. That game could have gone either way. Houston won. I'm not taking anything away from Houston. 1-run game. There's that. They went into Cleveland with a chance to sweep for the 4th of July. They end up doing kind of a rest day before the 4th. They lose that game 2-0. We don't shrug. They took 2 out of 3 from, a solid Cleveland team. That's fine. Then they lost the first game to Pittsburgh. We were a little shocked. We kind of haven't seen the Yankees do that in a while. It was Jameson Taillon's return to Pittsburgh. Gave up a couple ding-dongs. Jack Sawinski was still surprised that one got out. And then the Yankees, like the Yankees have, they killed him the next day, 16-0. And it was like, all right, that's Yankees baseball. They head into Fenway. They win the first game, 6-5. Went up 5-0 early. They beat Boston the next day, 12-5. And it's like, all right, here are our Yanks. Here we go. They lose to Boston in extra innings after they went up 5-3, and they brought in Clay Holmes. In the 8th, they had a chance to win that game. They had the lead. They had the lead going into the 8th inning. And then they had a 2-run lead in extras. They end up losing that game. You say, okay, damn, baseball gods a little bit, but we've already, we just won the past 2. Boston rolls on them. They come back from 6-2. And you're saying, okay, it's a split at Fenway. That wasn't pretty. That didn't feel right. Feels like the bullpen's thin right now. Whatever. It is what it is. Off day. We're going home. We're facing the Cincinnati Reds. And the Yankees kind of dominate. Garrett Cole looks like a really good version of Garrett Cole. 7 innings, 11 strikeouts, 0 earned runs. They kick it to Mike King. Mike King. He's waiting for the All-Star invite call. It's either Jersey Shore with his girlfriend or All-Star game. We'll see if he's tapped in as a replacement. He goes 1 inning, no hits, no walks, 1 strikeout. Yep, 11 pitches. Next, Clay Holmes, the robot horse, as I've been the one to nickname him. He's got the legs, basically the body of a horse, but he's been robotic in nature with how good he has been this year. His ERA coming into the game was .46. He comes in and looks more wild than Aroldis Chapman has ever looked. There's an argument. There was days when Chapman just lost the strike zone and you go, oh boy.
Just doesn't have it.
I guess when Chapman was wild, the pitches were still around the plate. It's just like, oh, he's missing low. He's missing high.
He isn't able to pinpoint.
Clay Holmes was everywhere. Did he hit 2 batters or 1 batter? He almost hit every batter. And then he gives up a couple hits, too, because when he was just trying to find the zone, he hit 2 batters.
Tyler Stevenson and Kyle Farmer.
So he hits 2 batters. One of those was with the bases loaded.
Yep.
He did give up 2 hits. They were ground balls through the infield. One of them was a hit. Joey Votto. They were talking about Joey's just sitting fastball this year and trying to get his arms extended. He got a sinker there. He's a Hall of Fame player, arguably. We'll save that for another day. And then there's another ball that, baseball gods kicked in a little bit. Falefa dives past it. That's a conversation.
I can't open that up right now.
Conversation for another day. I don't think a double play gets turned. Either way, baseball rears its ugly head. Clay Holmes doesn't have it, and you say, okay, that dude has earned it. His ERA went up to 1.37 after all of this. Wandy Peralta comes in, and I'm juiced up, man. Wandy Peralta is built for this situation. He's where me and Wandy relate. Silly, weird guys, handsome. I think we're back against the wall baseball, guys. And he comes into bases loaded, no outs. Fastball, changeup. He'll throw a slider kind of at the perfect time. He mixed one in yesterday. And, man, he gets the chopper. Back to the pitcher. Bases loaded. That's the dream. He goes to Trevino. Trevino can't handle it. Really tough. Or Trevino catches it. He tries to turn and throw to first. Can't make the transfer. It's always been a tough play for a catcher. Jose Trevino would be the first to tell you he can make that play and probably makes it 8 out of 10 times. Again, it's not an easy play for a catcher. Whatever. Next play. Chopper to Donaldson. Nick Senzel running very fast. Donaldson comes home with it. There's no attempt at turning the double play. They get the out at home. People are debating, should he have gone a second to try to turn that double play? Would have had to been perfect. Those are Donaldson's words. Those were kind of Boone's words after. Same with Jack Curry. Even if it was perfect, not sure they turn it. It would have had to been perfect. I agree with the throw home because you have just survived. You came in bases loaded. A 1-run game and no outs. You got a chopper home. First out. Sure, could have been 2, whatever. So you get another infield chopper and you get the out at home. So you're going to be 2 outs, 1 out away from winning it. It was the right play. And then Wandy. He's in an at-bat with Jonathan India. And he's got him on a string. India is swinging at everything. He's in full-blown swing mode. He's swinging at pitches at the dirt. Wandy's just got to kind of throw one low and away. He leaves it up middle, off the plate. Very off the plate. By the way, if Jonathan India doesn't swing, we say that was like a non-competitive pitch. But because Jonathan India's in swing mode, he full extends his arm, end of the bat, goes over the infield, 2-run score. It's 4-3. Wandy strikes out the next hitter and looks dominant. Tough break for Wandy. I saw someone in the chat that was giving Wandy crap right now, and that's so wrong. I mean, the 2 last situations he was put in are 2 tough ones, and he had this one. Next, the Yankees come up. They didn't start Judge. Judge is pinch hitting for Gallo. It's Judge, DJ Glaber. Let's go. Alexis Diaz, the brother of Edwin, as we found out here when we did the relievers. It wasn't even on Baseball Reference yet. He comes in. He looks pretty good. He's a little wild. The Judge at bat was fun. Judge is now 1 for 15 pinch hitting. Just a reminder. No one is really good at pinch hitting. There's actually like 5 guys. There's a list. It's a funny list of names. You can Google them. But, I mean, to try to find the overlap, if we were to do the Venn diagram of why those guys are good pinch hitters, tough to say. And the Yankees...
Probably luck more than anything.
Luck. Maybe first pitch fastballs before scouting reports had that. I don't know. But the Yankees lose easily their worst loss of the season. It was the first time they've blown a lead of 3 or more runs in the 9th since their loss to Houston right before the All-Star break, the Chad Green game. We were out in Denver. We had just gotten there. Some of us had.
I was in the air.
BBD was in the air. Dan Rourke's first flight.
Found out when we landed. Dan was not happy.
An atrocious loss. A Yankees team that had killed themselves with momentum all year. And here's where I will transfer it from Yankees to potentially your team and finishing up going into the All-Star break. The New York Yankees have 5 games left. They have 2 more with the Reds and 3 with the Red Sox going into the All-Star break. A historic first half. Nothing short of a historic first half. They've now lost 3 in a row. With that Red Sox extra innings loss, the Red Sox Sunday Night Baseball loss, and this 9th inning to the Reds. They have 2 more with the Cincinnati Reds. Severino versus Mike Minor tonight. Mike Minor's been bad. Severino's been really good. And then this becomes the fun baseballisms. You either want to get Clay Holmes out there tonight to hatch it out, or you almost hope you only need him half a time going into the All-Star break. A little rest versus rust. And then they face Luis Castillo Thursday versus Nestor. That could be a very interesting game before 3 versus the Red Sox. Here's what I'll say. There's 5 games left. The Red Sox ones end up meaning more than the Reds ones. Yankees fans need to feel that. It's still a historic pace. Clay Holmes has earned one of those games easily. It sucks that it looked like that. Like, Yankee fans would have much rather Clay Holmes gave up 3 straight homers. Yeah. It's just like, oh, whoops, baseball.
Walked guy single up the middle homer would have been the way I'd have liked that to go, I think.
And, man, it's got Yankee fans wondering a lot of things. Their bullpen depth was already kind of in question. And Clay Holmes, we hadn't even thought about. My comparison that I came up with last night, but I thought the tweet would have ended up dead. Judge is our Batman. I'm going full Dark Knight Batman for those at home. Judge is our Batman. He's everything. He's Gotham's protector. He's the Batman. Clay Holmes has been Harvey Dent. He has been like our trusted, like to the umpteenth degree. And him getting a literal dent last night, like, put the city of Gotham on edge. Because he's the one, he's made so many problems not a problem with how good he has been at the end of the game. Aroldis Chapman hasn't been a part of this season. One of the highest paid relievers in baseball, a historic baseball reliever. He had a good, he had a good first 11 games. He was surviving.
Yeah. It was like,
the ERA
you look
was
at
good.
it and he wasn't dominant. But
the ERA was
good.
good. He didn't look great. And then he's got lost, and then he got hurt, and now he's kind of hasn't been a part of this. Johnny Loizaga, the Yankees all-star reliever last year. Special pitcher for them last year. He's been out. Zach Britton, one of the higher-paid relievers in baseball. He's been out this season. What's supposed to be the back three in the Yankees bullpen has been erased by Mike King and Clay Holmes. Especially Clay Holmes. It's not a shot fired at Mike King. I love Mike King. But every year we kind of see relievers step it up. You can go back to Chad Green. You go to Johnny Loizaga last year. You go to Mike King. That kind of happens in the path of baseball. To have a closer do what Clay Holmes has done this year does not happen. And he had been invincible. And then last night, it was as bad as a reliever can look. So that has Yankee fans on edge. These final 5 games, circle them. Because, man, the Red Sox are definitely smelling a little bit of blood in the water. Not necessarily the AL East waters, but just in the realms of this season. Chris Sale came back. He looked good. Chris Sale came back. I think he was hitting 97. 5 innings pitched, 5 Ks, 1 walk, only 3 hits. Chris Sale is a season-changing pitcher for a team. Boston will be coming in for 3. They don't have a Friday starter, Pivetta Sale. So interested to see how the Yankees wrap up this Red Series. I obviously full-blown believe in this team. Obviously. A historic start, very much still.
Even if they lose out, it's a historic start.
I think Severino's going to shove today. I wouldn't be shocked if he's special, like no hit through 6. I think he's that dude. I think he's back. I think every team in baseball history has always had your ace, your one, your guy you always want. You know, in any game they're pitching, you feel like you have an advantage. You know, Cole, CeCe, whoever your guy on your team is, you have your one. Then you have a guy that's a stopper. Sevy's this team's stopper. He lives for this. The Yanks are feeling bad. I'm going to go out and be gross. His last 9 starts, I think he's got a 2.6 ERA, more strikeouts than innings pitched. I think he's living for this. And I think the offense is going to come to the park and say, Mike Minor, 3-game losing streak? We are not limping into the All-Star break. And now I mentioned the 2019 Rockies before, which you guys are like, well, yeah, Jake, you're always talking about them. The 2019 Rockies, the year before in 2018, the Colorado Rockies went 91-72. Pretty good. They were second in the NL West. They won the wild card game over the Cubs. They lost to the Brewers in the DS. The year before that, in 2017, my page is loading right now. I believe they made the playoffs. They were tied with the Dodgers, the Los Angeles Dodgers. And they had to do, I think it was a play-in. They lost the division play-in game. And then they went on to lose. Sorry, my screen just stopped populating. Come on, Baseball Reference. Either way, let's go to 2019. The 2019 Colorado Rockies coming off back-to-back playoff appearances. On June 29th. June 29th. So about a week from where we're mentally separated. Remember, this season got off to a delayed start. The Colorado Rockies were 44-39. And remember, these weren't just your normal, or probably how you picture the Colorado Rockies. Nolan Arenado was a 7-WAR player this year. Trevor Story was a 7-WAR player this year. They had John Gray, Herman Marquez, Charlie Blackmon. So it was a good Rockies team that had been to a couple playoffs. They limp into the All-Star break. They lose a final game of a series to the Dodgers. Sure, that happens. They lose a weird 2-gamer to Houston, both games. And then they got swept by my Snakes heading into the All-Star break. They lost 6 games heading into the All-Star game. Instead of being 44-39, a week later, it's the All-Star break. They're a game under 500, 44-45. They finished that season 71-91. Back-to-back playoff years. 5 games over 500 heading into the All-Star break. They limped into the break. It was all over from there. The wheels came off, and now look at the Colorado Rockies. Trevor Story? Nolan Arenado? John Gray? Nope. The 2017 season that didn't populate before was the 1-game wild card to the Snakes. I think, is that the Archie Bradley triple game? I think so. So, for your team and my Yankees that I just talked about a lot, these 5 games matter. These 5 games matter a lot. Do not limp in. There's going to be a team that we talk about in the coming days. And by the way, let me get the expanded standings up. I love looking at expanded standings. Couple teams you might want to circle. Rays and Red Sox. 47. Rays are 47-40. Red Sox are 47-41. Imagine if the Red Sox can make a little noise against the Yankees. 2 out of 3 at the stadium. Chris Sale's back. Some good juice. Toronto Blue Jays, circle them as well. 46-42. They're 2-8 in their last 10. Can they regain some of their juice? Or are they going to full limp into the All-Star break? I mean, those top 3 teams in the AL Central, the White Sox, that disaster continues. Can they find a way to be opposite of the Rockies? Can they somehow go like 4-1 these next couple days and be an above 500 team into the All-Star break? Do you know what that would mean for them? That'd be huge. It'd be massive. That'd be massive because that team has given me 2021 Yankees vibes. That team hated momentum more than any baseball team I've ever seen. And that is including that last Chad Green blown save before the All-Star game. That should have been it for the Yankees. Cole threw a complete game shutout the game before. The Yankees should have taken that series in Houston. Swept it?
I think they would have
I think it was for the sweep.
They did win the series, and it was like, well, worst loss I've ever had.
They go in with like the worst vibes ever. As bad of a loss you can have. That stuff matters, man.
Yankees are 12-10 in their last 22. My quick math tells me.
Sure.
Go 4-1 rest of the way, don't care.
You're fine.
Or better.
You're fine.
But if they any worse, then it's like a storyline. They limped into the
It's where baseball
playoffs for a month.
It's where baseball is such a beautiful, fragile sport. In that last inning I mentioned last night, Gleyber Torres hits a ball up the middle that looked absolutely destined to hit the second base bag. And instead of being a double play, it would have been more runners on. And we would have been saying, this Yankee series, this Yankees team, it's a magical year. Gleyber hits the bag. Can you believe it? Instead, that's not what happens. Mets and Braves, I don't think they need to be too worried. Those teams are playing right now. Good series. Matt Olson, date my daughter. Philadelphia Phillies, they have lost 3 straight.
It's not good.
They're 46-42. You want to talk about an important 5 games? Stop limping, Phillies. I don't think Cardinals or Brewers really have to be too concerned because they're the only teams in their division, really. San Francisco Giants, 4-6 in their last 10. They're 44-42. Be careful with these final games because you do not want to become the 2019 Colorado Rockies. Exciting final week of baseball. And when I talk about those veer points of baseball, if Clay Holmes comes in tonight, a 1-2-3 inning, and everyone says, whew, well, that never happened. Back to your incredible season, sir. If Clay Holmes looks like that again, you think you've seen Yankees fans panic. You think you've seen Yankees fans panic. If Clay Holmes has another erratic fest, whoo! That being said, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. He deserves that. The Yankees handled their press conferences phenomenally yesterday. Garrett Cole stepped up to the plate. He said, Clay Holmes, dude had a .4 coming into today. He's saved our ass so many times this season. Josh Donaldson talked openly about the double play ball, also defended Clay Holmes. There's one other guy you need to circle in Yankee land that the rest of his season is going to tell us a lot about who he is. Gleyber Torres. Gleyber got thrown out trying to stretch a double into a triple yesterday. Ball bounced away from the center fielder. He went for it. The Yankees were up 3-0. It felt innocent at the time. It was pretty much a perfect relay throw. Kudos to Senzel in India. But, that would have been a runner on second, no outs. That ends up looking bad. And then that ball that I said almost hit the bag, if it does hit the bag, we're, again, Yankee Stadium, ghost. This team's different. He watched it because he thought it was going to hit the bag, and then he got thrown out by this much on a double play. He got called safe. He got called safe at first. They reviewed it. He was out to end the game. Those are 2 looming errors, mental errors, that Gleyber Torres in the past had kind of struggled with. He has been playing an amazing brand of baseball of late. He's looking like the talented 25-year-old super prospect he was. An important 5 games, circle those for him. An important second half for his future. That's what's going on there. The Baltimore Orioles are 500. Amazing. Maybe circle their next 5 games. Are they going to actually be a part of this? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. But they deserve so much credit for what they are doing. Winners of 9 straight. 9 straight in Baltimore. Talk about having the good juice, man. They have it right now. They have it in droves right now. Couldn't be happy for the Baltimore Orioles. I need to eat crow. I thought there was a chance they weren't going to win 50 games this year with how good the division is. 2 games back of the Blue Jays. Who if they caught the Blue Jays?
Blue Jays aren't, regardless of what their record is, if they're in last place by the deadline or by the break. Wow.
By the way, 2 of the teams we just talked about, the Blue Jays and Phillies, tip one off tonight. Blue Jays beat the Phillies last night.
Yeah, 1-run game.
Blue Jays do finish with Kansas City. I'm looking for if there's a Blue Jays Baltimore. They got 6 coming up in August after the deadline. We'll see. Can't give enough credit to the Baltimore Orioles. Can't. And also, people, when I talk about vibes and energy and limping into the All-Star break or not, look at the Baltimore Orioles and just look at the energy those guys are playing with and a little winning and belief in each other. It's just, shit matters. Matters big time. I think that's my baseball around the horn for now. Look at your team. Tell me who you're worried about limping into the break, who you're not. In the comment of the day, Bakers, I ask you guys to bake the algorithm. Subscribe, review, leave a comment. Leave a comment because I love talking sports with you guys. Views popped up last episode. I think everyone was easing into summer. Everyone's rhythm got broken. I think now I keep saying into the teeth of summer for no reason. I think that's back. Let's see. Dan Lamontagne. If you remember, we talked a little Big East basketball and how that got ruined by college. He said, I miss those good Big East tournaments at MSG. Kemba will forever be a legend for that performance in NCAA follow-up encore. I think he hit like 6 or 7 game-winning shots in those tournaments combined. Almost every time it's on my timeline, I will retweet the Kemba game-winning shot at Madison Square Garden. It's definitely not the first time I've said that before. UConn and Pitt used to have these nasty, tough Big East basketball games. A lot of talent on the court, well-coached teams, physical basketball. Kemba drops McGee, who was your prototypical guy you hated on the other team. He's just a big, ugly, big man. Kemba drops him for the game winner. It's one of my favorite sports highlights of all time. And yeah, they ran it. They ran it to win the national title. It is one of the best runs in like college basketball history. Go watch the Kemba highlight if you haven't. Bean, New York faced a AAA starting rotation and still could only split with Boston. NY is so bleeped when we get our guys back. I guess let's see, man. You guys got quite the hill to climb. But, you know, Sale and Evaldi might come back. Would be a real shame if the Yankees hit them this weekend. Because then I'm not sure what your excuse would be. Chris Sale has been tough against the Yankees in recent years. Aaron Russell, goatee making a return. It looks like it. I shaved around it today. It was looking so bad. It still is. The mustache part is unreal. Unreal how bad it looks. It's mind-blowing. The chin thing, not horrible. The connector, awful, doesn't exist. Mustache, a level of like nastiness that I don't support. But I'm leaving it. We'll see. I want to see what it looks like Saturday before we leave for the All-Star game, and maybe I'll let it ride. Maybe I won't. I haven't decided yet. It looks bad. It looks bad. There's no ifs, ands, or buts around it, but it's back for now. Thank you guys for your support. Thank you guys for your comments. Leave a comment. Share the episode. I think this was fun. I think this was good. And we usually wrap up with Bro of the Night. I will keep it high and tight. It's kind of a split Bro of the Night. It goes to Whit Merrifield and Morley. Morley? I met a guy named Morley a couple weeks ago. More so, Cal Ripken Jr. Whit Merrifield sits out with a toe thing he's got going on, ends his streak of 556 consecutive games played. Pretty nuts, right? That's a lot of games. My dude was a quarter of the way till Cal. And the way that we view rest in sports now, I mean, that record is never being touched. Kudos to Whit for getting there. I mean, it's not the equivalent of what Cal did. It's probably, with how we use rest now, it's probably the equivalent of like 1,000 games. Maybe even that's a little too complimentary. But
it's hard to find a guy whose team will even let him get that far.
Witt just passed the torch to Matt Olson, who's at like 220 games or something. It's a little over a season. It's insane.
I think he might have last year plus the 60 gamer. It's something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So
and then all of this year, but
it's unreal.
And the positions they play.
Right. Kudos to Witt, who also plays all over and stuff. Steals a ton
part
of
of the
bases.
game.
Yeah, so kudos to Whit Merrifield. That's very impressive in its own way. And, man, does he get trade rumors anymore? What's his contract?
He always did for a while. He's kind of...
He's on the way down a little bit.
And just trajectory,
but
I'm not sure.
Guy that plays a lot of positions. He's got a mutual option for next year that's not going to be picked up. I don't know. Feels
for after next year.
Hate to be rude. Hate to be a guy that's like, if you're looking for a guy that maybe could use a little Yankees juice, a little Matt Carpenter, I don't know. Supposedly can still play everywhere. I don't know. But that's mine. What do you got, Beebs?
I am also in the world of baseball, but I also want to look at Whit Merrifield's Savant. It's just personal use. We talked about it a little bit Monday. We were like, oh, Yanks are off. We're going to check out this game. And it was Mets, Braves, Scherzer, and Fried. And Scherzer dropped dick.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, yeah, I'm still the best. 7 innings, 1 earned. Young Thick clipped him. That happens to people. 9 Ks. He was just really, really good. Mets won the game. Probably quelled a good amount of fears. I mean, now they're going for the rubber match in about an hour here.
Yeah, that was
it's an important time for the Mets.
I watched. Scherzer looked really good. Max Fried did not. He had 5 walks, and he had 5 walks all of June. So he did not have his ace stuff. The fact he got through 5 innings, I think 2 earned, was amazing.
Shows
on
itself. How good he is.
But yeah, that's the Maxes. Guy on the subway said hi today. His name was Max.
Oh.
He walked up. He showed me a picture we took together at the stadium last year. Hi, Max. People, so much stuff on the Jomboy Media Network. When we catch you back here, might be some All-Star Game funny business in L.A. Go watch everything. Warehouse Games. The ping pong is coming out. It's electric. Me and Rosie are on the call with a bunch of MLB guys, with Jimmy, Trev, Moylan. A lot of fun, and they're like 6-minute videos, so you could chew through those or go check out the one-on-one Blitzball League finals again. That's fine.
Or if you haven't watched the original Blitzball battle.
Right.
Floorball soon.
Floorball soon, people. It
really
looks really good. Compound with All-Star Ian Happ comes out. Farm to Fame. New episode. Talking baseball. We did a lot of home run derby. Silly, fun, good conversation. Morning with Jomboy. All the shows on AMP. Go check those out. Talking Yanks yesterday. A lot's already changed. Aaron Hicks. My goodness. Didn't even really talk about that.
New Shea Station tomorrow.
Shea Station. I think Moylan was on them to preview this series. All the stuff on Jomboy Media, people. You kind of can't go wrong. We love you. We'll see you back soon. Go sports. Enjoy sports.
Jake sucks.